So it's time for us to take a little bit of a side trip in our journey through Central Park here and see what is lying in store for us at that staticky circle on the map. Now, getting to it is kind of difficult. You do need a car to batter down the gate, and there are a few behemoths waiting, but well, as long as we can make it inside the building here, I think we should be able to easily evade them. So they are nice enough here to give us a few explosive bottles because we are definitely going to be needing it for whatever is waiting for us inside. Now, the slightly annoying thing is that I did have to start from a specific checkpoint, which means that majority of my previous inventory is now gone. But I think the developers really did keep that in mind, and pretty much at any point in the game, you're going to find a reasonable, storehouse of items to kind of refill what you might have lost. I think it's especially true considering any time that the game kind of throws larger gauntlets at you or more difficult combat experiences. And this can definitely be one of the first larger hurdles that you might have to deal with. You can already hear there's something growling in the background, and that's why we're going to go ahead and use our one bandage to make a Molotov. And though I haven't shown it off in the primary videos just yet, if you do combine the explosive liquid with your bullets, change your entire clip into a magazine of flammable rounds, which will be coming in very useful, though for right now, I'm just going to stick with a little makeshift flamethrower. The reason you want to make sure and have a flamethrower or some kind of flammable ready is because not only is there a rat's nest in this room, but you might notice, even with all the darkness, that our vision is kind of blurry and impaired. And that's due to this mysterious new enemy in the room. This very flammable new enemy, which we'll get a better view of, well, later on in this video, but its basic name is called a Root of Evil. Not just for, I guess, the symbolic purposes that it is, probably the core of whatever evil is spreading throughout New York and Central Park, but it is quite literally a tree root that has almost burrowed up through the ground and just unleashes evil all around it. And while it doesn't have any direct form of attack, and it is pretty much defenseless against fire, it can very well blur your vision and make most combat situations even more tedious and annoying to deal with. Also here, I'm being a little bit too frugal with my fiery shells. I was kind of hoping we could have a peace accord between me and the rats. Just doesn't seem, though, that they are going to honor our agreement, so I'm just going to light their asses on fire. Probably not the most economical thing to do, especially considering I do have plenty of bullets and plenty of flammable liquid, but hey, at least we did get an upgrade to our pistol, which the game calls a .44 Magnum, but kind of looks like a 1911 Colt. But yeah, to continue onwards, we are going to have to turn on some power to this rather hidden elevator here. Because that growling you're hearing is not from the rats, it is from even more roots that are inside the building. And I suppose the one positive I would have to say is that, well, outside the rats, there's not that much in the way of danger in the building here, outside the roots. Though I will say there is still one more danger to deal with. That's why I do want to have this flamethrower at the ready, though. It kind of struck me here that, well, my light was kind of blinding, so no reason to have that on a waste battery. Yeah, the main reason you want to make sure and have a flamethrower at the ready here is because once you leave the elevator, you get a surprise fissure, and our first introduction to the fact that fissures now are just going to be kind of popping up as normal enemies, and they will be quite the danger to deal with in the future. Outside of that, though, all we have left to deal with now is the roots. I think there are 2 more left in this upper floor here. And we do get a little bit of a clearer view of the root. Now, initially I thought that, well, since I made the flame bullets, they'd be useful for taking out the root here. And I assume maybe normally they are, but I seem to not be connecting here. So, I mean, seems like a good a time as any to use our Molotov, and since I haven't really shown it off, I might as well try to light it on fire instead of shooting it. Though this does kind of bring up another problem, which is, well, there is a reason why the game differentiates between glass and plastic bottles. And that's because glass bottles obviously will shatter on contact. Plastic bottles are more or less a little timed explosive. And it's pretty difficult to kind of gauge how long their timer actually is. Now, if you're wondering what that pop-up message was and what that little spectral vision meter is that is popping up, we're going to cover that more in the primary video that I think it's going to be coming up in the main plot line for the next video. For right now, this is mostly just, it's mostly just to get a brand new gun and kind of get supplies, and, well, I'm not really going to spoil it, but it is going to become very necessary to take care of these roots over the course of the game. For now, though, we just do have one more root to take care of, and the game is nice enough this time around, where it gives us a nice patch of fire along with a flammable item. So we aren't going to have to waste any more of our resources on the final route here. So hey, that's mission successful. Don't think we took too much damage, didn't waste too much in the way of resources, and in fact, well, this room here is a pretty good storehouse of items. We got some more explosive liquid, we got another a little spray for flamethrower, and if we really want to, we could probably pick up that tape and start using it to make some sticky bombs or a few other items, though for right now, we still really don't need to use those. I do kind of realize, though, that I did take a little bit of damage from the rats downstairs, and believe it or not, you can interact with the vending machines here to get some nice refreshing liquid. Though it is not used as a healing item. As far as I can tell, I think it's just used as a means to get rid of any kind of nearby fire, which seems like more of a detriment than anything at this point. Man, this upper office here is not only filled to the brim with bandages, but we are able to get a refill on our first aid sprays. So, all in all, got a brand new gun, we dealt with some roots of evil, and we managed to restock everything that we kind of lost from starting a brand new checkpoint. And for doing a job well done on our mission, we get to leave the building here in style by rappelling down. And, well, that's the end of the bonus video. Hopefully you enjoyed this mission into darkness and evil, and I will see you in the next primary video.